What's up everyone, my name is Alpha and today we're back with another Pokemon Challenge video. Today we're on a fan game, not a ROM hack this time. We're on Pokemon Infinite Fusion and I was kind of excited to play this game because a lot of people have been playing it on my recent timeline, and also I kind of want to fuse some Pokemon. I don't know how this game works at all. I didn't look at any guides or documentations. I want to go into this game blind completely, and we also have a challenge for this. I don't even know if it's possible. I just made up the challenge on the spot. Can I beat Pokemon Infinite Fusion using only gift Pokemon? So basically I can't catch any Pokemon at all. I have to buy the Pokemon or I have to get the Pokemon given to me, i.e. in the gift. So I can't use Pokeballs at all. Basically no capturing any Pokemon. Rather interesting on how this is going to work because I don't know how this game works entirely at all. On top of that, the only other rule is each of my Pokemon will be nicknamed after you guys in the comments. So thank you so much for leaving a nickname in my previous challenge video. If you guys want to be nicknamed after a future Pokemon, just drop in the comments and hopefully I'll pick yours. And while you're down here, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. It means a lot to me. Let's get it going. First video of March already. Jeez, the years are going by. I feel really old being a YouTuber. But anyways, let's start off the game with Charmander as my starter Pokemon. Now I chose Charmander because, you know what, I think it's a simple choice and I think it will look cool fused with other Pokemon eventually. Now I didn't know the game was going to start off with a lot of illegal activities because Blue, our rival, actually just took both the rest of the starters and just mixed them together. It actually doesn't turn out too well for him as his Pokemon is actually still weak to fire. It's not weak, it's just neutral to fire now, so it's actually worse than just getting a Squirtle, which is crazy to say. From there, I want to explore as much as I can. We run into a lot of fusion Pokemon. You get fusion Pokemon by running into them in the wild, so there's a lot of potential you can find in the wild just based on that. But you can also mix your Pokemon with a DNA splicer, and you might think that's like a rare item or something, or you get them like in mid-game. No, they give it to you at the beginning of the game, and you could buy it in the Pokemart for like $300. So you could mix as many fusion Pokemon as you want. You can also unfuse them as well, so that's actually pretty interesting how the game works. From there, we can get into Pewter City. We're gonna sell our Pokeballs and get a bunch of DNA splicers. Even though we don't have a second Pokemon just yet, we're gonna actually move out past Pewter City, which you're able to, and go into the route right before Mount Moon. In this Pokemon Center, you could get another Pokemon, which is gonna be a Magikarp, and I started fusing them. So once you fuse them, you have two options of how the typings are gonna be. If they only have one typing each, it's still gonna be two different forms, and they're kind of different, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how the stats are mixed up. I still don't know how they worked entirely, but they look different as they are fused together. You can choose which one based on the sprite. And as well, we're gonna go back into Pewter City and teach ourselves Mud Slap, which is going to be the only move that's going to be useful against the first gym leader in the game, since our Magikarp is not going to do anything. So we're going to start the battle off against the first gym leader in the game, which is going to be Brock, with my Charmeleon. Maybe thinking back, I regret the decision of using Charmeleon, but we're going to stick through it as we're able to just Mud Slap down the Geogy, which is a Pidgey and a Geodude mixed together, which is actually kind of sick because it avoids ground type moves. I'm able to burn it on the first turn and then eventually knock him out, which is huge. And then his next Pokemon will be a Dignix, which is a Diglett mixed with an Onix. I want to switch out and just remove my speed debuff and then get some Mud Slaps off against him. He doesn't use a rock type move at all, so I'm able to Mud Slap twice and beat down Brock, get the first gym badge of the game, which is insane. From there, we go into Mount Moon, and we struggle a little bit in Mount Moon. It takes me a while. Unfortunately, there's a lot of fun Pokemon to find out here, and if you guys want me to do another video on this, of course I'll do one. I kind of wish I had more Pokemon to play around with at the start. But as you can see, we're going to clear through Mount Moon and get ourselves a fossil, which is very nice for us. We're going to get ourselves a fossil. This fan game, you're actually able to revive fossils earlier, but you can't do it right now. You can do it in Pewter City still. From there, we're actually going to be able to evolve our Magikarp into a Gyarados, which actually also changes the form even though it's fused already. So it changes the form as you're still fused, so it's pretty cool. So both Pokemon gain a lot of XP when they fuse together, because when you defuse them, they get a lot of XP. Because there's no way I can evolve a Gyarados just from a few battles in Mount Moon. But right after we evolve the Gyarados, we're going to face off against Misty next. Misty is going to be the second gym leader, and she's going to send out a Jigglypuff, which is a Jigglypuff and a Goldeen mixed together. We have a Gyarados, or Chardos. The nicknames do get mixed up a little bit, so I'm sorry for that. I will fix them nicknames eventually, but eventually we're able to just bite down the Goldeen mixture and also beat down the Oddish and Staryu. I'm not sure why she doesn't have a Starmie. I feel like that's a wasted opportunity because this battle is very easy, especially since I only have a fire and water flying type. I think it's water fire in this situation. From there, the game does crash time to time. I went into this double battle fight. I assume it's a double battle fight. Since my Pokemon is mixed up and I only have one Pokemon technically, I think the game kind of crashes. So There is some crashes, I'm not gonna lie. It's not flawless, but it's pretty good. There we went into Lieutenant Search's gym next. Lieutenant Search is the 3rd gym leader in the game, and we're gonna actually defuse our Gyarados and our Charmeleon because it actually works better this way. We lose a lot of times to Lieutenant Search to the point where I gave Gyarados 2 rare candies just so he can start the battle off against Surge, thrashing, knock out the Krabby, and also the Piglet, which is a Pikachu and a Diglett. It's gonna lose to the Rybuzz, which I think you guys tell what Rybuzz is. But I can switch out into my Charmeleon. Charmeleon can get some Mudslaps off against him. And even though he gets some double teams, he's going to eventually miss a lot more moves than we are. And we're able to just knock him down. He can go for Thunder Punch less and less. And eventually I get him down to low HP. He's going to get one final Thunder Punch off against me. But I'm able to go for a Fire Fang and knock him out with the Blaze range. And I'm able to knock out the Rybuzz. And we're able to beat down Lieutenant Surge for a 3rd gym badge. Very nice. And we can finally move on. The revival machine for the fossils have been fixed as we got notifications from the scientist person. We're able to go back into Peter City, give them the fossil, and then I have to wait like 18 in-game hours for this. So you can see the time lapse. I just clicked on the speed up button and I went to the bathroom and it was ready for me. So I made to get ourselves a Kabuto, and we'll also go into Rock Tunnel. Rock Tunnel, there is a few exits or like side exits that you go out of, and in one of the side exits you're able to get ourselves a Honedge, so another gift Pokemon. We'll take that, absolutely. From there you can face off against Team Rocket. Instead of going into the game corner, you actually go through the sewers to foil Team Rocket in Celadon City. You also work with Celadon City's gym leader, which is going to be Erica. It's pretty interesting. From there we also got ourselves an Eevee and evolve it into a Glaceon. I chose Glaceon because, you know what, I was feeling a little adventurous. Normally I would have gone for Espeon or a Jolteon. I was looking at Jolteon, but I'm like, you know what, I haven't used Glaceon. Maybe I was wrong about Glaceon, and no, I was correct about Glaceon. It's very useless, and I'm not a big fan of Glaceon at all. It's not giving a lot of pressure, or there's not a lot of offensive pressure I get with him. And especially for an Ice type, it doesn't learn a lot of Ice type moves. I evolved my Charmeleon into a Charizard, and this is the turnout for it. So, this is definitely a Pokemon. Not the best looking Pokemons on my team. From there, we're going to face off against Erica next. Erica is the 4th gym leader in the game. She's also the grass type gym leader. We're going to start the battle off against her using my Glaceon and Charizard hybrid. We're able to Flamethrower and knock out the Executor in one shot, and also the Tanape, which is a Tangela and Primeape mixed together. Super easy. And our final Pokemon will be a Vileplume, which Vileplume and Victory Bell. Why is it orange though? And I wonder how it would look if one Pokemon was shiny. Does anyone know what that would look like if you fusion a shiny Pokemon? Anyways, we cleared through Erica pretty easily, but yeah, that would be pretty interesting. And as well, we could go into the dojo and get ourselves a Hitmonlee. I actually mixed my Hitmonlee into my Doublade, and now it has infinite no guard high jump kick, so I don't have to worry about that missing at all. But I kind of prefer Reckless, so I eventually switched back. I got myself a Reckless Hitmonlee as we go through Silph Co. Also, I mixed Kabuto and Charizard, and it's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. This is terrifying. You're forced to actually save people, so you have to talk to all the NPCs. There's like 15 people you gotta save, and then once you save them all, you're able to get yourselves a Lapras as a gift Pokemon. And from there, I also went out and got myself a Dratini from the game corner, which is nice, another gift Pokemon. And Silph Co was getting a lot stronger and was speeding me a lot, so I decided to go to Fuchsia City and get the HM for Surf, and also face off against Koga next. Koga, decently easy gym leader. We can send in all 4 of our Pokemon in this fight, so it's pretty nice. We're gonna start the battle off against him using my Lapras Charizard. Oh my god. My Lapras Charizard mixture is able to just body slam into the Grimer and Venomoth, which is worse combination. I'm able to Surf it, knock him out as well. The Coughing and Magnemite combination comes out, it gets knocked out as well. And then I think this is Scyther and Beedrill. It's not able to do a lot of damage to me, and a Flame Burst will knock him out since he's obviously weak to it. And his final Pokemon will be a Chunuk, which is a Muck and Chansey, so that's special defense through the roof. So I had to switch out immediately. Went out to the wrong Pokemon. I went out into my Doublade and also Dratini combination. I meant to go into my Hitmonlee and Kabutops mixture, which has Reckless high jump kicks, so I could just spam those. Even though it does a lot of damage with takedown, I'm able to get 2 high jump kicks off. It can go for a takedown. I live it barely, and I could go for another high jump kick. Somehow it lives, even though it doesn't look like it should, but it's going to take down itself and knock itself out. So we're able to beat down Koga and get ourselves the 5th gym badge of the game. Also evolve our Dratini into some weird little mixture with 2 swords. From there, I also went back into the Safari Zone. I found this little dungeon place where I don't have enough steps to go through, but if anyone in the comments know what this leads to, please let me know. I really enjoy exploring, but I can't explore all of that. From there, we can finally go into Silph Co, team up with our rival. He has a weird looking thing, Electabuzz and Gyarados, but we're able to clear through Giovanni in this double battle fight with our rival. Really reminiscent of the Radical Red one, but it's not a final battle. We're able to beat down Giovanni, and then I was going to just talk to the director of Silph Co, get ourselves a Master Ball. Unfortunately, we get ourselves a starter Pokemon, and I was mashing A too quickly and got the worst one. Why did they put Chikorita at the top? So I have a Chikorita now. I also have a Glaceon. So 2 really bad Pokemon. I decided to mitigate this by getting myself an Abra for 200 coins in the game corner. And then from there, we can face off against Sabrina next. Sabrina is the 6th gym leader in the game and also the Psychic gym leader. We're going to start the battle off against her using my Abra Charizard mixture. This thing is not a good mixture, but lucky enough, I do have Roost as an ability, and I decided to go for a Toxic Stall against some of Sabrina's team. She has a Hypno and Mr. Mime combination, which actually goes down as she gets really greedy with Nasty Plot for some reason. So it actually works out for me. Her next Pokemon will be an Espeon, and I don't know the other one, Espeon Umbreon combination, I believe. I go out to my Kabutops and my Lapras combination. I'm able to X-Scissor one-shot it. It's 4 times weak to Bug, most likely. Alakazam and Slowbro encounter. Or yeah, I think that's it. I'm able to 2-shot with X-Scissor super easily, and our final Pokemon will be a Gengar and Alakazam. It goes for a It went for a Psycho Cut. It went for a Psycho Cut against me. Does not work too well. A Shadow Ball will knock me out though, but I'm able to get it down to half HP. Switch out into my Hitmonlee and Dragonair combination, which doesn't look too bad. It just looks pissed off. And I'm able to just Dragon Rush it and knock him out, and we're able to get our 6th gym badge, the Marsh badge, pretty easily. From there, we do have a full party of Pokemon if we defuse everyone. We actually have more than a full party, and we're just going to start mixing them up, see which one looks cool and which one works. Eventually, I'm going to have Kabutops and Gyarados mixed together, which actually stays for the rest of the game. And also Alakazam and Lapras, that combination stays the same for the rest of the game as well. Everyone else, I just keep mixing up until I found something that I kind of like, I guess. I just keep mixing it up. I just want to show this fight, this Doug Trio and Doug Trio combination, probably, because there's so many Doug Trios on screen. This Lapras and Alakazam, though it looks cursed, it's very good because it's so bulky and also has the movesets of Calm Mind, Recover, Psychic, and Surf. Pretty much covers any typing, so I have a neutral attack at the very least. From there, I felt myself being under level, so I went out into Johto. There's actually a whole different region you can go out into, and I can start training up my Pokemon just little by little. Even though most of my Pokemon start dying, I still felt the need to just start training my Pokemon. I use my Alakazam a lot, my Lapakazam, I don't know what's going on here. But from there, we're going to face off against Blaine next. Blaine is the 7th gym leader in the game. We're going to start the battle off against him. We can only bring 4 Pokemon at the time. We can't choose anyone else. So I decided not to bring the Meganium combination. I start the battle off against him using my Lapakazam, going for a Calm Mind. He goes for a Sunny Day, but I'm pretty sure he can't do anything to me. I lied. He went for a Toxic, so I went for another Calm Mind. Go for a Psychic to knock out the Gloom Dash, which sounds like a Paper Mario character. Next out, his Aerodactyl Charizard thing kills my Lapkazam. I did not know that. I thought he went on a streak. But anyways, I go out into my Kabutops and Gyarados. Hydro Pump does not do anything apparently. But eventually, I am able to just Aqua Jet it down. And the sun goes away, so I'm able to do more damage. Eventually knock him out, and then Aqua Jet to... Wow, it didn't do anything to the Magdon, which... sounds like a cool name, does not look too cool. I go out to my Charizard Glaceon combination, it's gonna die. It's not doing a lot of damage with Flamethrower. So my last resort was go out into my Hitmonlee and Dragonair combination, and somehow Reckless High Jump Kick is still broken. High Jump Kick to knock out the Magdon, and his final Pokemon will be Arcanine and Ninetales combination, which can't do too much damage to me since I'm a Dragon type. 2 High Jump Kicks would knock him out, as we're able to beat down Blaine somehow. And yeah, we get ourselves the 7th gym badge. Now, I spent the next hour kind of just running around and also, you know, move tutoring my Pokemon. You only spend $1,000 to move tutor your Pokemon, but I also run around because I don't know where to go. I went into Viridian City, can't find the way. There's no guides online because the documentation is actually outdated. It doesn't tell me where to go. You're supposed to just look around, just go south, and there's a water puzzle, and then you can go into Mount Ember or something like that, where Moltres is supposed to be normally in the Sevi Islands, and then you can face off against Giovanni, and Giovanni has a Zapmo Kuno, which is a Zapdos, Moltres, and Articuno mixture, which you have to fight all 3 of them at the same time, which is a pretty unique concept. Unfortunately, most of my Pokemon are very weak to Zapdos, so I actually focused down on trying to beat down Zapdos. Did not work, obviously, at the start, but eventually, once I started knocking one out, it was easier to knock out the other ones. I mean, obviously, hindsight's super basic premise. Just knock out one, and it gets easier to knock out the other ones. But anyways, we're able to just knock down Moltres and Articuno right after that, and we're able to beat down Giovanni. It's not even a full battle. And then they split up because, you know what? It happens. From there, I also didn't show this, but I got myself an egg from the 7 Island people. We hatched it to a Pawniard, which doesn't help me a lot because it evolves very late, so I have to fuse that with something higher level. And then from there, I'm gonna face off against Giovanni for the 10th millionth time. This time, we're gonna go for a gym badge, the 8th gym badge in the game. We only bring 5 Pokemon to this fight, so we're gonna start the battle off against him using my disgusting, I don't know what this is, Dragonair and Charizard combination. That's gonna be a combination for the rest of the game, I believe. We're gonna start the battle off against him using that, and surprisingly, his Rhyperius, which is Rhydon and also Lapras thing, is actually ice and ground, so I'm able to actually do a lot of damage with Heat Wave. Unfortunately, he knocks me out, but I can go out into my Monferno. Oh, I forgot. Once you save everyone, you also get a Sinnoh starter. Back in the research lab, I chose Chimchar. I combined Monferno and Aegislash together, and this is what I got. And yeah, it's definitely a Pokemon. Definitely one of those Pokemon. From there, I'm able to just keep close combating into the Rhyperius. Eventually, he switches out into his Electro Trio, which is going to knock me out. I go out into my other Water type. And yeah, lucky enough, Dragon Dance into Aqua Jet will knock him out. So it works out. Unfortunately, not able to knock out the Go-Champ, which is a Golem and Machamp combination. I go out into my Lapkazam, which I'm able to get a Calm Mind off against the Go-Champ. As he switched out to his Rhyperius, I'm able to go for a Psychic, knock out that thing, and the rest should be pretty easy as I'm able to Surf, knock out the Gliscor and Tyranitar combination, which is super cool looking. Also knock out the Rylax, which is a Rhydon. Why is there a Rhydon? It should have been a Rhyperior and Snorlax. But then I also knock out the Go-Champ, and you can see why Lapkazam is really good. We beat down Giovanni, get the 8th gym badge. Maybe we didn't deserve it, but we got it anyways. From there, we're going to go into Victory Road, which is basically the same puzzles in the original Kanto. But it's kind of different because there's like a lot more rocks in the way, so you kind of have to maneuver around. I kind of get trapped here on accident because I moved it the wrong way, so I have to reset. Kind of annoying, but you know what? I spent 10 minutes trying to fix it, but eventually I just went down, redid the puzzle, and then from there we can move out into the Elite Four. Now, first in Indigo Plateau, you're gonna get all the items you need, get all the healing items. Get the super splicers and use the DNA splicers to split them if you need to. Just keep the super splicers to actually mix them together because they're whole different things. Anyways, from there, we're going to go into the first chamber and face off against the first Elite Four member. We actually faced off against the Kanto versions. We don't face off against the Johto people, even though this is like a mixture. You get Johto and Kanto in one game. Anyways, we're going to start the battle off against Lorelei using my Gyarados and Kabutops combination. Doesn't do too much against him, I'm not gonna lie. The Magong, which is Dewgong and Magmortar combination, is gonna burn me, start the battle off, so I'm unable to knock out the Magong. And I decided to go out to my Lapkazam and just immediately go for Calm Minds against him. And I realized my Lapkazam has Water Absorb, so he can't actually use any water moves, so he's forced to use only fire moves against my water type Pokemon. And eventually I get boosted up in front of him and then just go for a Psychic to knock out the Magong. I also knock out the Weavers, a Lapras Weavile combination. It could actually knock me out because since I'm Psychic type. He went out to his Mambro, which I'm able to knock out in one shot as well, and then he's gonna go out into his Jinx and Tangrowth combination. I knocked that thing out, and also the Cloyster and Tentacruel thing. I'm able to knock out everything in one shot as we're able to beat down Lorelei pretty easily. Now moving on, we're going to face off against Bruno next. Bruno is going to be the fighting type Elite Four member. We're going to start the battle off against him the same way using my Kabutops and Gyarados encounter. From there, I'm able to go for an Earthquake against him. He goes for Focus Energy. So Earthquake would knock him out easily. He goes out to his Marowak-chan, which I think is, from the looks of it, he looks like a Hitmonchan and Marowak combination. Doesn't look too good. I'm able to go for an Aqua Tail and then an Aqua Jet to knock him out. From there, he goes out to Steel. It's not even a Steel Champ, it's a Steel Champ. I'm able to go for an Earthquake against him, assuming he's just a Steel type. He goes for Iron Tail, survive it easily, and then 2 more Earthquakes would knock him out, as we're able to just beat down the Steel Champ, not even Steel Champ. From there, he goes out to his Cross, which is going to be a scissor and haircuts, which is a crazy combination, but most likely it's going to be weak to fire. So I went out to my Dragonite and Charizard combination, which I thought was going to look a little better, but Flamethrower would knock him out, which is cool. Then his final Pokemon will be a Magnezone and Onix. Out of everything, he hits me with a Zap Cannon though, but I'm able to just Flamethrower him down and knock him out. As we're able to beat down Bruno pretty easily, we just gotta use some healing items as we're gonna face out against Agatha next. Agatha is going to be the Ghost type Elite Four member of the game. On my Sony Vegas timeline, this battle lasted a whole minute, so we start the battle off against her Mismabat, which is gonna be a Mismagius and Crobat. I go for a Dragonite and then Aqua Tail to knock her out pretty easily. Her next Pokemon will be a Wobgar, which is gonna be a Wobbuffet and Gengar. I go for an Aqua Tail and it destroys it with a crit, so we'll take that. Obviously, her next Pokemon will be an Umbreon Haunter combination. It goes down in 2 shots. I actually go for a Dragonite in the midst of this as she's healing up. Aqua Tail to knock her out. Her next Pokemon will be a Snowgar, which is going to be a cute little Snorlax plushie. We're able to 2-shot it. We're also able to survive a Body Slam. Final Pokemon will be a Gangdoom, which is a Gengar and a Houndoom without the nose. Earthquake to knock him out, and we're able to beat down Agatha pretty easily. So, yeah, another sweep. From there, we're going to face off against Lance next. Lance isn't the final Elite Four member, surprisingly. Started the battle off against him using a Dragon Dance. He gets a Thunder Wave off against me, but I get another Dragon Dance, and I don't outspeed him ever. He does get 2 Outrages off against me, but my Aqua Jet will knock him out, which is pretty fire. From there, he's going to go out to his Tognite, which is going to knock me out, obviously. I go out to my Infernape and H-Slash combination, which is so cool looking if you look at it. He has a shield and a sword. He uses both. I go to King Shield every other turn, basically avoid any damage from the Tognite and eventually knock him out with Iron Head, which is super cool. I don't knock him out. I lied. I just keep lying. He knocks me out with Moonblast, but I'm able to knock him out with my Charizard and Dragonite combination. It doesn't look that cool, but look at the Tyranitar and Aerodactyl combination. We could have been that. That thing looks pretty ugly. From there, I go out to my Bisharp and Hitmonlee combination. I'm able to just knock him out with 2 high jump kicks to the face. I'm sorry I'm saying combinations a lot. I don't remember all the names of them, obviously. But I do remember Lapkazam, which is able to just call mine in front of the Typhnair, which is a Dragonair and Typhlosion. It Dragon Tails me out, and then I go out into my worst Pokemon possible, the Meganium and Glaceon combination, which I didn't even try to level up. It gets knocked out in 1 shot, and from there, I'm able to just rely on my Lapkazam just to knock out the Typhnair. So maybe just knock him out pretty easily, and his final Pokemon will be a Porygon. It's either a Porygon 2 or a Porygon Z. I think it's 2, mixed in with a Kingdra. So I'm able to go for Calm Minds against him. I get paralyzed, which is annoying, but I'm able to just barely survive with a crit and then recover off the damage, knock him out with a Psychic, and down goes Lance. So we're able to beat down Lance, and now we're going to face off against the champion. And against the champion, we do black out so many times against him that it's getting ridiculous. I found a way to actually set up myself really well against our rival to actually beat him. So we're going to start the battle off against him using my obviously Kabutops and Gyarados. I'm going to go for Dragonite as he goes for a Swords Dance with his Nidojet, which is a Nidoking and Pidgeot. I'm able to go for an Aqua Tail as he goes for a Double Team. I'm able to go for Dragonite once again. So I get 3 Dragonites up as he goes for a Wing Attack, and assumedly this, if I land the Aqua Tail, should knock him out, which it does. Lucky enough, he doesn't go for an Earthquake, which is super effective against me. He goes out to his Blastoise, which is a Venusaur Blastoise. I'm going to X-Scissor one-shot it because it's Grass Water. His next Pokemon will be a Rhyhorn, which I'm going to go for Aqua Tail as long as it doesn't miss, and it does not miss. I actually go for an Earthquake, so it didn't miss anyways. His next Pokemon will be Electados. We saw earlier we made fun of, but this thing was sweeping me so many times because it's super fast and super powerful. He does not have a flying typing on him because he's electric and water. I'm going to Earthquake, knock him out in 1 shot, which is easy. His next Pokemon will be a Starkazam. We saw this earlier. This thing is not that good. I'm able to X-Scissor, knock him out, and his final Pokemon will be a Tauros. I don't know the other one. Tauros and just Tauros? I don't know, but he gets knocked out. He has 2 Tauros heads, and then he gets knocked out. So we're able to beat down a rival with just our Kabutops Gyarados combination combined. And at the end of the game, I have a headache. There's a lot of Pokemon going around, but honestly, it was pretty fun to do. It took me a long time to actually beat the game, but I wasn't complaining too much because it was actually fun to do. So you can see my in-game time of 7 hours of playing through this, and it was really fun to do actually. If you guys want to see more Infinite Fusion challenge runs, let me know in the comments, and hopefully I can make it happen. But anyways, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. If you guys can, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Anyways, I'll see you guys either Sunday or Saturday for another hardcore Nuzlocke. Anyways, my name's been Alpha. Hope you guys all had a great day, and I'm out. Peace.